lost a very dear friend, Randy Rhodes, in the early 80s. My guitar player got killed on an aircraft. And he was a very, very special person to me.
The saddest day in Ozzy's personal history was March 19th in 1982, when guitarist Randy Rhodes was killed in an inane flying accident. Rhodes is Ozzy's closest friend. Ozzy is reported to have dashed into the burning building to try and save the young guitarist, but Randy was already dead. It's another rock and roll tragedy. Ozzy is so upset he can't bear to go to the funeral.
The success that I've had, I've demolished through just basically alcohol. I mean, I've got most of the acclaims that one can have in one's profession at the age of 45. And yet, I had a trail of debris, which was, I mean, I'm not proud that I urinated up the Alamo. It happened, it was a laugh, and people laugh about it. But, I mean, if somebody once asked me if I could change anything, would I change certain things in my life? I suppose I would if I had the chance, but if I did, then I wouldn't be sitting here now.
These are black times for Ozzy, and who can tell what would have happened without the marriage to Sharon and the birth of 3 kids.
But to be honest with you, I decided to try and get back more to the roots with this album. I wanted to do like I mean, what's happened over the years with technology of recording, you can do so much experimentation in the studio. And on the time, one before this, the Ultimate Sin, it was very soft, much softer than my previous records. And this is more like the original Black Sabbath sounding record that I liked than the other ones, because I purposely went out of my way to make a heavier album, you know. The most difficult thing for me in my career is to give up drinking alcohol. I'm doing well with it at the moment, but it's very difficult because when I get frustrated, or when I get angry, or when I get happy, or whatever any mood I go through, I always want to take up a drink to change my mind, and it's very difficult to do it. I did this whole record straight. I didn't take any drugs or alcohol or anything, just straight, and I haven't taken alcohol for 30 days today. And it's very difficult, you know, to stop. I mean, I just came to Helsinki airport, and a lot of people drink here. A lot of people drink a lot of alcohol. We just came to the road with a guy, and I thought to myself, I've been with these guys many nights, you know.
In 1984, he is admitted to the Betty Ford Rehabilitation Clinic. Ozzy famously thought it was a kind of summer camp where you could refresh the body during the day and drop down to a bar at night and have a few drinks to unwind.
I tried to quit loads of times, and the only person that can really help you is you. If you really want to stop doing something and you're really hell-bent on doing it, you need some help, but ultimately the decision has to come from you, because I went to some of the top detox centres in the world. I'd come out and go straight to the bar. So I went to the Betty Ford Centre. My wife and she said, I think you should go to the Betty Ford Centre. That was the first one. And we thought they were going to teach me how to drink like a gentleman. I didn't have a clue that they were going to tell me, you know, drive this thing home that I should never drink again. And so the first thing I did when I got out of the Betty Ford Centre was straight in the nearest bar. I got smashed, you know, and it's like, until that one day come when I realised that I couldn't do it anymore.
Despite the numerous addictions, Ozzy's solo career went well. He never put out a record that didn't at least go gold. The lineup behind him changed often, but the great Oz was always the same.
If you enjoy smoking dope, getting stoned, whatever, it's your life, and if you can get on with it, and you honestly enjoy it, and you like it, then I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I've stopped and I think it's a good job that everyone in the world stopped. That's not Ozzy. I mean, if you'd have told me 5 years ago, I'd have told you where to go.
Ozzy continued an on and off love affair with the States, touring and living in the USA, but he was always glad at the end of a long tour to return back to his home in England.
The old pattern would be, I'd write and record an album, go on the road, come off the road for a few weeks, start writing, recording, back on the road, and it was like a mouse on a wheel. And so when I finished the No More Tears tour, or the No More Tours tour, whatever it was called, it gave me the first time in my whole career to say, well, I haven't really got a set date to start, I can do it leisurely.
In the land of double-decker buses, Ozzy could catch his breath and recover from his extreme lifestyle of hard work and hard living. The pace in England was slower and suited his downtime, but there was always the suspicion that high English taxes and worrisome neighbors would drive Ozzy permanently to the USA. But his all-time bad boy point was still to come. It happened in 1989 when he downed 4 bottles of vodka and tried to strangle his wife Sharon. Woke up in prison with no recollection of what had happened. They reconciled, but Sharon insisted on 3 months of rehab away from the family.
Have you ever tried dime bars? Now, being an addict, I had 1 dime bar, and within 3 weeks I was having a box a day, and I gained about 5 stone, and I thought, this is incredible, I'm going to explode, I'm going to die of, like, dime bar overdose. They're going to find me with 8 dime bars hanging out my mouth with a suicide note, Totally vegetarian, which I had to start eating meat again, or fish, because I got I went down to about 10 stone 10, and I started to get too much, I mean, it's all or nothing, whatever I do, and I had all these clothes that once were too small, now they were too big, so now I've eased up somewhat on the diet, but for about 3 months I did nothing but eat brown rice and vegetables and nuts. I didn't eat any, I still don't have much dairy products though. But then I started to have a few bagels with egg mayonnaise, and I've got to be really careful with what I do, because if I like something, I'll take it to bed with me. I'm not lying in bed with like a plate full of bagels all night long. So it's like I have to really monitor myself, what 1's too many and 10's not enough,
I want to party in my hotel room. I got some in Los Angeles, one in New York. I got a lot of the places from where I go. But I religiously do it. It's what I do to give myself. I just do this for myself once a day. And I think that if you can't give yourself a certain amount of time to do what you want to do in the day, then there's something wrong. Active, but when I got off the road, I just became the opposite, and I got really
sluggish. And when you look in the mirror and you don't like the way you look, I started to do something about it, you know, because I try and take care of myself now. In other words, I'm trying to put some goodness back into my body instead of putting all the badness that I've been putting for so years.